Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today we're diving into a topic that's, it's quickly reshaping the tech landscape. OpenAI's GPT-5 Codex. Now, you've probably heard of AI coding assistants, sure, but what we're talking about here, it's genuinely next level. It really feels like a monumental shift. And, understanding its implications is going to be crucial for anyone serious about innovation in business.
Absolutely. And this deep dive, it's built on a pretty comprehensive research report from Vox Agent. It meticulously analyzes how GPT-5 Codex, as Greg Brockman envisions it, isn't just some incremental update. No, it's really looking like a foundational transformation for coding, with massive implications for operational efficiency and, just groundbreaking innovation across tech-driven industries.
Okay, so our mission today is clear then. We want to cut through the buzz, give you the unvarnished truth, hopefully, about what GPT-5 Codex truly means for businesses, and uncover both its immense promise and also the critical challenges you'll need to navigate. Think of this as your essential shortcut, maybe, to understanding the future of software development, delivering those strategic insights without getting too lost in the technical weeds. Okay, let's unpack this then. We've all seen AI models generate bits of code, right? Snippets. But what exactly makes GPT-5 Codex fundamentally different? Is it just a souped-up autocomplete, or is there something more profound going on?
Yeah, it's a great question. Because it's definitely not just smarter autocomplete. Not at all. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is the paradigm shift it represents. It's moving into what OpenAI calls agentic software engineering. So unlike earlier tools that might suggest a line or two, maybe a function, GPT-5 Codex is designed for autonomous software engineering. Imagine an AI that can manage complex real-world development workflows. Start to finish, we're talking generating entire projects, integrating new features, writing tests, debugging, refactoring, even performing comprehensive code reviews. And it does all this while interacting pretty seamlessly, actually, with external tools and testing environments. It effectively orchestrates the entire development process with minimal human oversight.
Orchestrates.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's not just spitting out code, it's managing the project itself. That's a huge leap from where we started. With just basic code completion, feels like light years. And the report highlights how crucial its ability to integrate with existing ecosystems is. Things like, IDEs, the workspaces the developers use, and cloud platforms. That integration sounds absolutely vital for real-world use. It sounds like it's designed to fit into how developers already work, just supercharge that whole experience.
Precisely. It's about augmenting, really, not just assisting. A true collaborator.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, especially for a business executive listening in. Let's talk about what GPT-5 Codex can actually do. Like, what are the core capabilities under the hood making it so powerful?
Well, it leverages the underlying power of the GPT-5 large language model, naturally, but with critical enhancements specifically for these agentic tasks. So first, you've got full lifecycle management. This means it can take a software project from an initial idea, basically, all the way through to deployment, generating projects, adding features, tests, debugging, refactoring, and even conducting robust code reviews. Second, it's strength in external interaction. That allows it to orchestrate development by integrating with all sorts of different tools and test suites. It acts like a true development agent right within your existing tech stack. Third, and this is a really significant improvement, is what they're calling thinking time. This lets the model approach complex tasks more thoughtfully, dynamically adjusting its processing based on how complex the problem is. And the result, fewer errors and a pretty dramatic improvement in overall code quality, which is huge. Finally, it goes beyond just churning out code. It actually shows a sophisticated understanding of software architecture, design principles, generating code that isn't just functional, but is also maintainable and scalable. That's a massive win for long-term project health.
Thinking time for an AI. That almost sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? It implies a level of, deliberate problem solving. This all sounds incredibly sophisticated, and I imagine it's built on just a massive foundation of knowledge. What's powering all this intelligence? Where does it learn from?
It truly is sophisticated. And the report emphasizes, it's trained on an enormous corpus of code, pulled from vast sources like open source repositories, internal documentation, giving it a grasp of a really wide range of programming styles and paradigms. Plus, it uses reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, we call it. So this means human developers aren't just coding alongside it, they're actively teaching the AI. They're evaluating, correcting its outputs, continuously refining its performance. It's a dynamic, ongoing learning loop.
So human insight is still critical, but maybe in a new, more strategic role. Supervising, teaching. That brings us back to prompt engineering, which you touched on earlier. If its success hinges so much on the quality of the natural language instructions we give it, what does that mean for businesses? Is it just about writing good instructions, or is this like a whole new skill set emerging?
Oh, it's definitely an emerging skill, a critical one. It's less about what you ask, maybe, and more about how you ask it. Crafting instructions so precisely that the AI delivers optimal, consistent results time after time. For businesses, this means prompt engineering isn't just some technical nice to have, it's becoming a really critical strategic capability. It directly influences the efficiency and the quality of your AI-driven development. And yeah, that seamless integration with existing tools and environments is also absolutely paramount.
Okay, so we understand what it is, roughly what it can do, powerful stuff. But why should businesses, particularly executives like you listening, genuinely care? What's the real value proposition here for enterprises thinking about adopting GPT-5 Codex? This isn't just cool tech, it has to impact the bottom line, right?
Exactly. And the value proposition is incredibly compelling based on the research. First, and maybe most obviously, we're talking about significantly increased development speed and efficiency, dramatically increased, automating those repetitive, time-consuming tasks. It just boosts productivity massively and slashes development time. The report highlights this really striking case study. GPT-5 Codex refactored 12,000 lines of pretty complex legacy Python code. It implemented comprehensive testing, resolved tricky race conditions, those bugs where things happen out of order, all in just 7 hours.
7 hours for 12,000 lines of legacy code.
7 hours. That's a task that would typically take human teams days, maybe even weeks, depending on the complexity.
Okay, that alone is
Yeah. Right. And second, it directly leads to improved code quality and reliability. By reducing human error, which inevitably creeps in, and incorporating comprehensive testing and debugging, it creates more robust, more secure software. That translates directly into substantial savings on maintenance costs, fewer costly production outages. Third, it offers really effective complexity management. Automating intricate tasks frees up your human developers, lets them focus on higher-level design, real innovation, strategic problem-solving, stuff humans are uniquely good at. It also, interestingly, seems to accelerate onboarding for new developers because the AI handles a lot of the routine get-started tasks. Fourth, you gain faster time to market. Pretty straightforward. Streamlined development cycles mean quicker product launches, and that's a critical competitive advantage in today's, rapid-fire business environment. Fifth, it's proving to be a powerful tool for modernizing legacy systems. It can efficiently tackle those complex refactoring projects, helping companies avoid those incredibly costly manual overhauls that often get put off forever. And finally, there's a significant, perhaps underestimated benefit for talent attraction and retention. By automating the mundane, drudgery parts of coding, developers are liberated from more creative, challenging work. That increases job satisfaction, makes your organization far more attractive to top engineering talent.
That refactoring example is still stuck in my head. 12,000 lines in 7 hours. What I'm really hearing that is that this isn't merely about cutting cost, although that's certainly part of it, maybe a big part. This is about fostering innovation, gaining a significant competitive edge, and fundamentally transforming how software gets built. It really sounds like a strategic imperative for any forward-thinking business, not just a tech upgrade.
It really is. It fundamentally shifts the strategic focus. It moves from how quickly can we churn out lines of code to how innovatively can we solve complex business problems with AI as a powerful partner.
Okay, so let's look at the real world then. Where are we seeing this technology, GPT-5 Codex, already in action? Or perhaps, where is it heading in terms of concrete applications and use cases?
Well, its applications are remarkably diverse. It spans the entire software development lifecycle, really. It's revolutionizing everything from automating boilerplate code, the repetitive stuff, and writing unit tests, to enabling that efficient refactoring we talked about. It also integrates really well with agile methodologies and CI/CD pipelines.
Those continuous integration and deployment systems.
Exactly. Those automated systems for building, testing, deploying software quickly. It accelerates feedback loops, shortens development cycles. It can even automate documentation generation, which developers usually love, or rather love to avoid doing.
Yeah, that's always a pain point.
Yeah. And importantly, it has immense potential in democratizing software development through low-code or no-code platforms, empowering individuals who might have limited traditional programming experience by translating natural language requests and functional code. That's huge. And beyond general software development, its industry-specific applications are just vast. Think about finance. automating complex financial models, developing sophisticated algorithmic trading strategies, building critical risk assessment tools. For healthcare, we're looking at accelerating personalized medicine applications, complex bioinformatics algorithms, advanced medical image analysis. In the automotive industry, it's contributing to developing robust autonomous driving systems, ADS features, complex vehicle control software. Its versatility just means it can generate code for optimizing processes, building new applications across a massive array of domains.
That's a really sweeping list of benefits and applications. Clearly demonstrates the potential power here. But here's a surprising twist that came up in the report. Some early studies, around early 2025, looking at these new AI tools. While promising long-term, they actually showed an initial increase in development time by something like 19%. That feels like a bit of a productivity paradox, doesn't it? If this technology is so powerful, why the initial dip? What's going on there?
It absolutely does feel paradoxical at first glance, and it's a really crucial point the report digs into. This initial temporary reduction in productivity, it's often attributed to an adjustment period. It makes sense when you think about it. Developers need time to get good at prompt engineering. They need to learn how to debug AI-generated code efficiently, which can be different, and they need to spend time thoroughly reviewing the output for accuracy, security, consistency. You can't just blindly trust it yet. So it highlights that realizing those projected long-term gains isn't automatic. It's not plug and play. Successful integration requires really careful planning, dedicated training, and adaptation to these new ways of working. It's a learning curve. But the data does suggest that as developers gain experience, as the tooling matures, these initial inefficiencies diminish. And that's when you start seeing those significant long-term productivity boosts. It's an investment in learning how to use the tool effectively.
Okay, that makes sense. It's an investment, a transition period. So no new technology comes without its hurdles, its speed bumps. What are the significant challenges and limitations that businesses really need to be aware of on this road towards more autonomous software engineering?
Yeah, the report outlines several key challenges, and they're important to understand. On the technical side, look, GPT-5 Codex can still struggle with genuinely complex, highly nuanced coding problems, the really tricky edge cases. It might generate code that's functionally correct, sure, but maybe it's inefficient or stylistically inconsistent with the existing code base. That can lead to technical debt down the line. Also, as we mentioned, debugging AI-generated code can sometimes be unexpectedly time-consuming. It doesn't always think like a human coder. And the immense computational resources required for large-scale enterprise deployments, that's a significant cost factor to consider. It's not cheap to run. Then you have the implementation complexities. Adopting this technology means potentially significant changes to your existing workflows. That's disruptive. It requires substantial developer upskilling, maybe even reskilling, and a really proactive approach to change management within the organization. You need buy-in. There is also currently a bit of a lack of standardized integration frameworks, which can make seamless adoption more challenging in diverse, complex tech environments. And critically, security and data privacy, these are paramount concerns, especially with strict regulations like GDPR in Europe, CCPA in California, and others. You have to ensure proprietary code, sensitive data, isn't inadvertently exposed during AI processing. That's non-negotiable. Another challenge the report highlights is just the ongoing effort needed to update the training data to keep the AI current with evolving technologies and best practices. The tech world moves fast.
Right. So it's definitely not just a case of flipping a switch. It demands really strategic planning and significant internal adaptation investment. And of course, this isn't happening in a vacuum. You mentioned costs, resources. This market is absolutely booming. The report projects it to reach over, $52 billion by 2030. That's huge. Who are the key players really vying for dominance alongside OpenAI in this increasingly competitive race? It can't just be them.
No, absolutely not. It's a rapidly evolving and highly competitive landscape. Major players, of course, include OpenAI itself, but also tech giants like Google. Microsoft is deeply invested through its OpenAI partnership and its own tools like Copilot. And other prominent technology companies are actively developing and deploying similar coding assistant tools. The market is really characterized by rapid innovation, diverse approaches too. Some players are focusing on highly specialized agents for specific tasks. Others are looking at hybrid systems, combining large language models with more traditional rule-based systems. Interestingly, the report specifically highlights Anthropic as a leading player, particularly in the enterprise market. They seem to be boasting a significant market share even after GPT-5 Codex's potential release.
Oh, interesting. So even with OpenAI's advance, others are holding strong.
Exactly. It indicates that the competition isn't just about who has the single most powerful raw AI model.
Yeah.
It's also heavily focused on factors like the overall developer experience, how robust the platform integration is, and critically, how well they address those concerns we just discussed: security, privacy, reliability, explainability. It's a bigger picture.
That's a fascinating insight about Anthropic's market share. It really underscores that it's probably not going to be a winner-take-all scenario, at least not initially. More about finding the right fit. So, looking ahead then, paint a picture for us. What does the next, say, 3 to 5 years look like for GPT-5 Codex and AI encoding more broadly? What major trends should businesses be anticipating?
Yeah, looking ahead, we anticipate several pretty significant trends shaping this space. Firstly, just increased sophistication in the AI's capabilities. We expect AI will handle even more complex tasks over time, things like high-level architectural design, performance optimization, maybe even predicting potential issues before they arise. This means human developer roles will likely continue to shift further towards that high-level design, strategic thinking, and crucially, AI oversight and validation. Secondly, these hybrid human AI models will absolutely become the norm. It won't be human or AI, but human and AI. Developers will collaborate with AI as just a routine part of their workflow. The AI handles the repetitive boilerplate stuff, while humans focus on critical thinking, creative problem-solving, user experience, the uniquely human elements. And this will likely solidify the need for those new specialized roles we mentioned, like prompt engineers, AI code reviewers, AI trainers. Thirdly, we'll definitely see broader industry applications expanding rapidly. Beyond the traditional tech sector, GPT-5 Codex's versatile applications will push much further into finance, healthcare, education, manufacturing. You name it, used for process automation, system optimization, building entirely new kinds of applications specific to those domains. Fourthly, there will be, and needs to be, a growing emphasis on establishing robust ethical and regulatory frameworks. As AI-generated code becomes more prevalent, ensuring transparency, accountability, mitigating bias, and developing really stringent testing protocols, that will be absolutely crucial, not just for compliance, but for building public and developer trust.
Right, the responsibility aspect becomes huge as the capability grows.
Exactly. And maybe a bit further out, fifthly, keep an eye on convergence with things like quantum computing. That's a potential disruptor that could offer unprecedented computational power for developing incredibly sophisticated software, maybe even training these models faster. And finally, just ongoing research into emergent AI behaviors. We might discover unforeseen capabilities or efficiency gains as these systems become more complex.
So the key takeaway seems to be constant adaptation. That isn't just a suggestion anymore. It feels like a strategic imperative for businesses. Not just in the tech sector, but really across every industry that touches software, which is pretty much all of them now.
Absolutely. The landscape will demand agility, foresight, and a willingness to learn and evolve continuously.
All right, so let's bring it home. What does all this mean for you, the business executive listening to this? What concrete, actionable steps should you be considering right now to position your organization to leverage this transformative technology effectively? What should be on your to-do list?
Okay, practical steps. The report provides some solid strategic recommendations. First, conduct a really thorough assessment of your organization's specific software development needs. Where are the bottlenecks? Where could AI make the biggest impact? And then rigorously evaluate the potential return on investment, the ROI, for integrating something like GPT-5 Codex. This isn't just about jumping on a bandwagon. It has to make business sense for you. Second, invest strategically. That means not just in the technology itself, but in the necessary infrastructure to support it, and, crucially, in robust upskilling or reskilling programs for your employees. This is fundamentally about empowering your talent, not just buying a tool. Third, develop a clear strategy up front for ethical AI usage. This needs to include addressing potential biases in the AI's output, ensuring human oversight in critical decisions, maintaining transparency, get ahead of the ethical questions. Fourth, implement a comprehensive plan for managing the organizational change this entails. Foster a culture of continuous learning, experimentation, and adaptation. This technology won't succeed if your people resist it or don't know how to use it effectively. Fifth, seriously consider collaborating with AI experts and experienced integrators. Don't necessarily try to figure this all out entirely on your own, especially early on. Partnerships can significantly mitigate risks and accelerate adoption. And finally, maybe consider a phased implementation approach. Start with pilot programs targeting specific, high-impact but maybe lower-risk use cases. Learn from those pilots, adapt your strategy, and then scale rollout more broadly. Walk before you run.
That sounds like really solid advice. This isn't just about adopting a new tool, is it? It's more like a strategic overhaul of how you approach software development, maybe even innovation itself. The successful integration of something like GPT-5 Codex clearly demands careful planning, recognizing its immense potential, yes, but also proactively navigating those challenges we discussed. Ultimately, it's about driving real innovation and efficiency across the entire organization, leveraging AI's power responsibly.
Indeed. And perhaps the final thought to leave with everyone is this. How will you empower your teams to embrace this collaborative future, a future where human ingenuity and AI power work truly in tandem, side by side, to build the next generation of software, the next wave of innovation?
Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.